The Uncharted universe has kept me entertained for almost 10 years now with its incredible sense of adventure, its unforgettable characters, tight third-person combat, and epic set pieces that would make even Hollywood sit up and take notice. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy sees Chloe Frazer, a fan favourite from Uncharted 2, take the reins of her own treasure-hunting quest to complete her father's mission of finding the ancient tusk of Ganesha. Teaming up with her is the tough Nadine, a mercenary and one of the antagonists of Uncharted 4. And together they prove that you don't need Drake to have a superb Uncharted adventure. Both begin as fiercely independent fighters, but they have to come to terms with the fact that they need each other to succeed. Their character arcs grow as the two of them slowly develop some kind of trust as they discover each other's motivations and skills, forming a friendship. As with all Naughty Dog games, our two heroes' dialogue is written perfectly. Their conversations while driving around the plains of India are full of personality and are like listening to two real people chat away on a sunny afternoon. The main bad guy, Asaf, isn't quite as interesting. He's a weapons dealer descending from the old bloodlines of the king and feels that his family need to rise up once again. For the most part, he's quite soft-spoken, but in flashes of anger, he proves that he's more than enough insane to be a series villain. But the problem here is not only with this game, but also with the other Uncharted games, and to be honest with a lot of other games too, is that not enough time is spent with the enemy. All of the screen time is with our heroes, so we don't get to learn much about Asaf. The only interactions he has are monologues and then fights between him, Chloe and Nadine. We never see him alone or talking with his own men, or find out his backstory as to what drives him forward on his mission. He's kinda just thrown in there as Mr. Stereotypical Bad Guy number 248. There's a slightly darker tone to the story, with the backdrop of an Indian civil war. However, it doesn't get too deep into this and makes sure not to get too realistic and depressing, which would take away from the whimsical sense of adventure. It's still all about exploring ridiculously beautiful exotic locations. It's about fighting against military units that would be completely impossible to beat in real life. It's about mowing down hundreds of soldiers, ending with witty one-liners and no need for a sense of guilt. Luck is always on our heroes' sides, with crumbling stones falling away underfoot, and yet always just being saved at the last second. And then there's the ancient mechanisms and structures that are wonderfully over the top and complicated. I've seen ancient structures, they look like this, not this. And I'm not quite sure how ancient races would ever work these things. Would they climb and swing around them too? Oh well, no need to think about the feasibility of any of this, just strap in and enjoy the roller coaster ride. There's a section that provides the largest open space in any Uncharted game, which lets you roam around an Indian valley in your jeep, exploring ancient temples and fighting against Asaf's men in small skirmishes in a race to unlock the valley's secrets. However, I felt like this was perhaps the weakest section of the game. Now, while it does make a lot of sense having exploration in a game about treasure hunters, using a map to track down hidden trinkets, it kinda slows the pace down a bit too much. A lot of this open area, while looking beautiful, doesn't have a lot of substance to it. Other than a handful of things to pick up, it's mostly just empty space. It lacks the pacing of a tight narrative, so rather than jumping from one set piece to the next, it feels more like a nice casual drive in the wilderness, instead of an epic adventure. There was a heavy emphasis on stealth for pretty much every major fight. The tall grass made its return, as well as the ability to keep out of sight and try and take out as many enemy guards as possible before being spotted. If I'm honest, I do kind of half-heartedly use stealth, simply because I enjoy the third-person shooting so much and would rather go out all guns a-blazing. There's a real frantic sense of constantly having to move, especially in the crushing difficulty, where you would pick your spot, try and take out a few guards, but before long their grenades, aggressive flanking tactics, and armoured front line would force you to keep changing locations, and make these mad dashes from one piece of cover to another as bullets hail around you, then pick up a new gun and get back to taking them out. At one point things got extremely difficult. It was a dark and stormy field of land, monitored by sniper-filled towers and with a heavily armoured APC driving around trying to flush me out of hiding. I had to take the APC out, preferably without being spotted, but thankfully I was given some C4 before entering the fight. However, after my first death and a quick respawn, where is my C4 gone? So then I had to sneak around the ruined buildings trying to scavenge more explosives from crates to help me take out the vehicle, which is not an easy task when all the snipers around you have eagle-like vision, and I swear sometimes I have no idea how I was spotted. This wouldn't have bothered me too much if it wasn't for the fact that I was meant to have some C4 to start with, but because of some strange hiccup with the checkpoint system, I had to go in empty-handed. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy isn't just a piece of DLC, it's proof that the Uncharted universe still has stories to tell and new worlds to discover. Chloe and Nadine provide a fresh twist on the usual formula, but the feeling while playing is still the same, a drive to push on and see what's next, and for a game all about exploration and adventure, then that's a pretty good feeling to have. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and until next time, thanks for watching.